Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning. Let me introduce myself. My name is Citra Melanie. I'm the first semester student. I will show and explain the material about Intro to Linguistic as a form of my final semester exam. First, I want to tell you about the definition of language. According to Krida Laksana and Joko Kencono, language is a system of arbitrary sound symbols used by members of social groups to work together, communicate, and identify themselves. Therefore, language is never separated from humans. Okay, there are 5 main topics that I will be discussed. That's it about morphology, lexicology, syntax, semantics, phonetic, and phonology. Okay, into the first discussion topic, which is about morphology. The definition of morphology is the study of language itself, such as studying the formation of word or morphemes and also variation in word or morpheme combination in a language. And then morphology type, there are free morphemes. Free morphemes are morphemes that can stand alone into word without being attached to other morphemes. Free morphemes have several basic types, namely verbs, noun, adjective, preposition, and others. Example: study, verb, man, noun, kind, adjective, on, preposition. Free morphemes are divided into two, namely lexical morphemes or open class and functional morphemes or closed class. Lexical morphemes are morphemes that can stand alone and can convey the content of the message we convey, divided into three, namely verb, noun, and adjective. Example: red, verb, baby, noun, cool, adjective. Then functional morphemes are morphemes that can stand alone, but the content to be conveyed is not clear, divided into four, namely conjunction, preposition, articles, and pronoun. Example: but as a conjunction, at preposition, the articles, and she pronoun. And then bound morphemes. Bound morphemes are morphemes that cannot stand alone, but must be attached to other morphemes. Bound morphemes are divided into two, namely derivational morphemes and inflectional morphemes. Derivational morphemes are morphemes which, if attached to other morphemes, will form new morphemes or word, or to form word with different grammar or lexeme from the previous word. In derivational, there are two kinds, namely in the beginning of a word, prefixes, or in the end of a word, suffixes. In Indonesian, we usually know them affixes. For example, the word beautiful. is obtained from the word beauty, which has the additional morpheme full, which changes the noun into an adjective. So, for that reason, the morpheme full is included in the suffix derivational morphemes at the end of the word because it changes the word from the noun lexeme into an adjective lexeme. Inflectional morphemes are morphemes that are tied or attached to other morphemes only to identify their grammar, not to produce new words or form words with different grammar from the previous word. Example, the word books is obtained from the word book. Here book changed to book because to explain that there are many books, so it does not change the lexeme of the word, because the word book into books remain in the lexeme the same thing, namely the noun lexeme. Okay, then about lexicology. The definition of lexicology is the science or study of the form and meaning of word, and according to the language of lexicology come from the word lexicon, which is mean dictionary, jam, or terms from a science. According to the term, lexicology is a science that studies inside and outside of the meaning of vocabulary that has been included or will be included in the dictionary. Lexicology studies word formation, semasiology, etymological characteristic of word, phraseological units, lexicography, and so on. Then there are general and special lexicology. The general study of word and vocabulary, irrespective of the specific features and any particular language, is known as general lexicology. And then special lexicology devotes its attention to the description of the characteristic peculiarities in the vocabulary of a given language. Okay, lexicology deals with the vocabulary and characteristic features of word and word groups. The term vocabulary is used to denote the system of word and word groups that the language possesses. The term word denotes the main lexical unit of a language, resulting from the association of a group of sound with a meaning. The term word group denotes of a group of words which exists in the language as a ready-made unit, has the unity of meaning, the unity of synthetical function. According to the theoretical basis of the vocabularies of different languages, there are three types of them. Number one, historical lexicology. Deals with the historic change of word in the course of language development. Number 2, descriptive lexicology deals with the vocabulary of a given language at a period of time. Number 3, contrastive lexicology studies language from the point of view of their identity and differentiation. Word formation and word classes in lexicology. Word formation, this can be summarized as follows. Suffixion, the formula is man plus li is manly. Prefixation, the formula is an plus true being untrue. Affixation, formula is this plus taste plus full being distasteful. Prefixes, we add prefixes before the base or stem of a word. Okay, now about syntax. The definition of syntax. Syntax. In linguistics, the word syntax comes from Greek, which is combination of the word syn, which means together, and the word taxis, which means series, sequence. So syntax is one of the branch of linguistics that studies the rules that determine how words form phrase and phrase from sentence. Etymologically, the term syntax is putting together words into group of word or sentence and group of word into sentence. Examines how sentences are formed, and language users use a special variation that allows forming elements and in sentence. In syntax, there are several parts of the sentence structure that the writer will explain, namely subject, verb, object, complement, and adverb. Okay, now about semantic. The definition of semantic. Semantics comes from the Greek sema, noun, saigen, or from the verb samaino, to mark, to mean. The term is used by linguists to refer to the part of linguistics that studies meaning. Semantics is a branch of linguistics that examines meaning or meaning. The meaning studied by semantics is context-free meaning. There are meanings that are lexical and some are grammatical. Okay, there are types of semantic. Number 1, semantics behaviors. The adherents of the behaviorist school have general attitudes. Number 1, adherents of the behaviorist view are not too sure about mentalistic terms in the form of mind, concept, and idea. Number 2, there is no essential difference between human and animal behavior. Number 3, attach importance to learning factors and lack of confidence in innate factors. And then number 4, the mechanism or determination. Okay, now about number 2 is semantic descriptive. Descriptive semantic is a semantic study that specifically shows the current meaning, the meaning of the word when it first appears, not notice. For example, in Indonesian, there is the word champion, namely the person who get the top rank in a match without regard to the previous meaning, namely the regulator or mediator in cockfighting. So descriptive semantics only pays attention to the present meaning. Okay, about number 3, generative semantic. The generative semantic theory emerged in 1968 because of linguistic dissatisfaction with Chomsky's opinion. In their opinion, the semantic structure and the synthetic structure are homogeneous. Inner structure is not the same as semantic structure. To connect, it is described by one rule, namely transformation. This theory arrives at the conclusion that grammar consists of an inner structure which contains nothing but a semantic structure and an outer structure which is the embodiment of speech. These two structures are connected by a process called transformation. Okay, number 4 about semantic grammatical. Semantic grammatica is a semantic study that specifically examines the meaning contained in sentence unit. Verhaar says grammatical semantic is much more difficult to analyze. To analyze the sentence that is still sitting, the sister is asleep, not only interpreted from the word that compose it. One has to interpret the whole content of the sentence as well as what is behind the sentence. A word will shift its meaning when placed or combined with other words. Okay, now number 5 is definition of phonetic symbol. Now is about phonetic symbol. Definition phonetic symbol is actually more directed at the signs that discuss and explain how a sound can be formed. In other words, the signs is more likely to point to the part of our bodies that can make sounds. In addition, and the phonetic symbol in English are the sounds that come from the word we speak using English. Then we will put it in the form of an article. If we study the phonetics of symbol in English, it will be related to IPA or the International Phonetic Alphabet. IPA is a symbol system that we can use in pronouncing words in any language. So when we have mastered the symbol in the IPA, then we can also read various language around the world. Although basically we do not understand from the symbol. Okay, now list of phonetic symbol. Basically, there are phonetic symbols in English that we can know and learn. For more detail, here is a list of phonetic symbol in English. Number one is short vowel. The first phonetic symbol we will learn in English are short vowel. Short vowel are vowel that we can sound or short. I will continue. Number two is about long vowel. One of the phonetic symbol that is also important for us to learn is long vowels. Long vowels are vowels that we sound a little longer. Number three, there are diphthong vowel. Diphthong vowel is one of the important phonetic symbol for us to learn. This English phonetic symbol. This English phonetic symbol is two vowels that we can pronounce at one time. Okay, now about consonant sound fricatives. Fricatives. For our discussion this time is consonant sound fricatives. Consonant fricatives or fricative consonant are sighs. This one sound is a combination of sibilant or hissing consonant and also explosive or plosive, which means a burst consonant. We produce fricative consonant or consonant by forcing air out through the narrow channel that we form by pressing two articulators together. These two articulators are the lower lip, tongue, lower teeth, and so on. For example, the lower lip with a row of upper teeth. Okay, now about the topic from this discussion is phonology. The definition of phonology is the branch of linguistics concerned with the systematic organization of sound in language. It has traditionally focused on the study of the phoneme system in particular language, and is therefore used also called phonemes or phonetic. But might also cover any linguistic analysis either that at the level below the word, including syllable, onset and rhyme, articulation, movement, articulation. Features more or at all levels of language where sound are thought to be structured to convey linguistic meaning. There is a phonology function. First, to find out the sound change in a word. Learn about the process of formation, delivery, or pronunciation. Studying how the organs of the human body work, especially those related to the use of language. There is so many learning videos about Intro to Linguistic that I can convey. If there any a mistake, I'm sorry. And wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.